What's it feel like as a 19-year-old to be doing 10K a month, bro? It's pretty impressive.
It's very sort of surreal. Like it's hard work, but it's definitely something which I can sort of build on. It's definitely a foundation to scale with in the future. I mean, a lot of sleepless nights, but it feels sort of surreal. But at the moment, with where I'm at, I'm sort of just, when I'm making 10K a month as a 19-year-old, I'm reinvesting it back into the business consistently and hoping to scale to much further.
And what is it exactly that you do?
So what I do is called Amazon FBA. So I'll get products and contact brands directly and contact wholesalers and negotiate an optimal price for both of us so that I can then sell on Amazon and make a profit.
Why can you sell on Amazon for a higher price than what you're getting, obviously, at a wholesaler? I know you're buying in bulk, but why is it that people pay a premium on Amazon?
I think it comes down to convenience at the end of the day. Nowadays and age, people don't want to sort of go to the shops, or shops may not have that product in stock, and Amazon do have the product in stock, so they'll just quite easily shop on Amazon. For example, let's say you're selling toothbrushes or toothpaste, for example, and they can go into the bathroom at night, do the nightly routine, and then realise, oh no, I've run out of toothpaste. They can go on the phone, click order, and it'll be with them in the morning. I think it's just a convenience thing, if anything.
That's literally the best thing about Amazon. I mean, I'm a sucker for it. Literally, whatever I need, it's just I ain't going to the shop.
It's literally in the palm of your hands. Mm-hmm. Like you don't need to go out. You don't need to venture out. You don't need to drive to stores. You can literally just click order, and it'll be with you next day. One
thing that you said is that you do the arbitrage that you do for Amazon, the products that you get is online. Now that's different from the majority of places that most people start from. Usually they're doing retail arbitrage, going into stores. Why didn't you go down that route?
So I didn't go down that route due to, firstly, my area not being the best for retail arbitrage. So sort of like there wasn't many things on clearance which I could make a profit on. So I saw like the best returns online. So when I first started, I couldn't drive. So obviously I sort of had to start online, or otherwise I was getting the bus into town every day.
I was just going to say, getting the bus with like 20 coffee machines.
Yeah. But so I started online. I feel like for anyone who is starting, retail arbitrage is a great way to go down. But I think the sooner you get into like the online side, the better, just because it's more scalable. For example, if you're going into stores and purchasing the products which are on clearance or maybe on discount, you're limited to the amount of stock which they have in that specific store. Whilst if you're online, you can find a wholesaler, you can find a store which is solely based online, and you can order more in bulk. And who knows, you might get a discount if you order more in bulk or whatever. Yeah.
And how do you negotiate with the online stores, the retailers that have online stores? How do you go about doing that? Because that's something that I've never actually heard of.
Yeah, so with online stores, with negotiations, sometimes you can call them up and sort of like, look, I'm looking to sort of take X amount of products, and you can sort of work it on like a quantity scale. So like obviously the more you order, the cheaper the cost per unit will also decrease. And you could also sort of use discount codes online, for example. So if you was going to Lidl, for example, if you could order from Lidl online, which I don't think you can, you could sort of use discount codes from elsewhere, which can also bring your cost per unit down. Whilst if you're in store consistently, you're sort of, you can't go to the till and ask for a discount. So the price is what it is, So I think with online, you can sort of look for them discounts as well and then use them online, which lowers your cost per unit, which then eventually increases your profit.
Mm-hmm. Did you always know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
No. From very young, I always wanted to be a pilot.
Oh, no way.
For Emirates, yeah. Ever since I was a little kid. But that quickly ended as soon as I got to college and took an engineering course, and then realised I had no clue what I was doing. So I sort of went my own way. And
have you always had that hustle in you, though? You always had that? Because you started pretty early, right?
Yeah, definitely. I started from like 13, 14, like when I was at high school, selling chewing gum, selling sweets. I remember picking a pack of chewing gum up for like 50p from the shop, and then selling it for like 25p per chewing gum to my friends. And sort of, I think that's where my business mind and entrepreneurial mindset comes from initially. But yeah.
Sick.
When you're looking online I'm just trying to give the viewers at home some context, and maybe if they want to go and try. Amazon FBA for themselves how to go about things. I mean, what type of stores are you looking for?
So
is it like household names and you're looking for their products?
yeah, so initially there's different types of what we call sourcing. So you will go on certain databases, and so like for example, Keeper is one of the databases, and you can sort of set parameters in place, which you can then sort of, if you're looking for a minimum profit per unit, looking for a specific sale price, this database will give you all of these products, and you'll sort of click into that product and then search it online, and then you can then see what retailers and then selling that product. And that's how I initially started. And there's numerous ways which can do it, to be honest. There's different sourcing methods. For example, one of them is sort of, it's like a little cheat code. It's there's a database called Seller Amp SaaS, which every beginner on Amazon should have. And you can see what other people are selling, and you can sort of find the product online that way.
Okay, you can see everything down to the amount of units that they're selling per month, prices, etc.
The Amazon games are like, it's very data driven, isn't it? It's all
100%.
data.
It's all backed by data. So, you know, if there's anyone who's like sort of on the edge of starting, is like, is this actually going to work? There's databases out there which shows that a certain product is selling this times per month, and it's selling for this price. If you can find it for a price which is cheaper than the selling price, you're going to make a profit from it. And you know, it's like you said, everything's backed by data in Amazon. So it's definitely, it's a very, I wouldn't say easy because it's not easy, but it's very data driven, and it's a proven method of actually making money online.
How'd you go from selling chewing gums in the playground to Amazon? What's the in-between?
So when I was selling chewing gums, I was in year 7 and year 8, and briefly in year 9. And when I hit year 10, I started sort of selling sneakers and PlayStation 5s, the PlayStation Portals, the lot. And when PlayStation first initially got released, I was making a good like £400 profit per PlayStation, and that's what instantly got me hooked.
Wait, 1 minute. How much were you selling them for then?
So I was picking up like the PlayStation Digital.
Yeah.
I think was like 420. No,
It was like 300 quid,
yeah, 360. But then you were selling them on eBay, Facebook for easy like
Really?
£700-800.
That much?
All day. Yeah, when they first got, especially when it came towards Christmas as well, they were selling for insane. It's just that demand factor at the end of the day. You know, obviously the supply is low. The higher the demand is, the price also increases. You know what I mean? And like I said, when it comes to like Christmas, I remember selling one at Christmas on Christmas Eve, and I picked that PlayStation up for 360, and I sold that PlayStation for £750 on Christmas Eve, and it was just insane. Ever since then, I've always just sort of been hooked.
How are you getting them though? Because if people are scrolling through Facebook and eBay and willing to pay close to £1,000 for a PlayStation, and then we've got Josh who's like sat in his bedroom just fucking picking them up for £3. How?
So at certain times, retailers were releasing them. So the likes of actual like PlayStation themselves, Argos, Smiths, and they were releasing them like certain times throughout the day. And it mainly be when people are in work, so they're not able to actually purchase the PlayStation. And that's where I sort of came in place, and so I was like, well, I'll purchase that PlayStation.
But you're supposed to be at school.
Yeah, I was. I was on my I remember being in like year 11 and year 12 in college. I'd be under the table on my phone like this in college, trying to purchase like consistently. And I remember purchasing one in my what we call tutor, and it's where like they just do the register in the morning. And that's where it all sort of started from, really, like sort of flipping those sort of items. And I thought to myself, I was like, well, yes, this is scalable, but the hype train will end eventually.
I feel like reselling has taken a bit of a backseat at the moment in terms of, I'm just thinking of like products that are selling for more. Maybe it's because I'm just not on that side of the internet anymore.
Yeah, it's taken a back seat and a step back, but there's always demand for items, no matter what. So there's always a chance to make money with reselling. But I think I got to a point where I was thinking to myself, I was like, yes, reselling is scalable. However, I feel like if I venture into a more actual professional, what I call professional business side, and start the Amazon FBA, I can scale that much further. Like, I feel like personally with reselling is a starting point for not every entrepreneur, but every entrepreneur which wants to get into that sort of selling a product side of business. I feel like reselling is a good benchmark to start. And that's where I started.
It's an easy entry point, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. You can start with 50 to 100 pounds. I know I definitely started with 50 pounds. I remember asking my dad to transfer me 50 pounds and
wait, give me some examples of products that you could resell for like 50 quid. Because when I think of reselling, I'm thinking like, I don't know, the Supreme hoodie that might cost 150, the Yeezys or the Jordans that might cost upwards of 200 pounds, etc. to get.
So when I first started, the product I bought for £50 was a PlayStation controller charger. And obviously it's when the PlayStation 5s had just been released, and you don't get them with the PlayStation itself. So people were looking on Facebook, looking on eBay for this product, and they couldn't find it anywhere until they come across the resellers which are selling this now for a premium, and they sort of have to pay that price. And I think the retail on it was £45, and we sold it for like £100. Which is insane when you think of it. Like, it's literally just a controller charger. But because the demand was there, you know, you...
And then with that £100, are you going and buying two? And then again, and then...
Yeah. So once you've sort of made that sort of £55 profit, you then just reinvest that back into the business, and then that's how you sort of scale. And so once I sold that, I'd now have like £100, for example. And then I'd buy something for £100 and then sell it for £200 and now have £200. And then you just got to, it's all about compounding when you start with selling products.
And then when did you transition into the Amazon side of things?
So I transitioned into Amazon when I turned 17. And I was in my last year of college. It was February when I started. And it was a big jump because I've never sort of had my own proper business before. I've obviously had the side hustle of reselling. But to initially make that jump of, right, I'm now in the deep end, I've got to box this off. It is scary at the start, but you soon sort of learn lessons on the way there. And I think that's a key part when you start. You're not going to start knowing everything. You learn as you go along. I think that's definitely helped me scale as I've sort of got along my entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah. Got to break some stuff, haven't you?
100%.
Did you have to, just out of curiosity, because you were 17, how did you set up your Amazon FBA account?
So I can't specifically say how, because it might cause a few wildfires. But yeah, as soon as I turned 18, obviously everything was in my name, and I think you can set up your own business on company's house. I think it's 16.
I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that you could do it at 16.
I think it's 16. You can set up your own business on company's house. And yeah, so obviously once I turned 18, obviously everything's in my name anyway. So yeah, that's realistically how. Obviously I can't really say how. I sort of started at 17, but it is recommended to start at 18.
When you say started, like, did you really start, or were you just kind of testing the water?
Yeah, I was kind of testing the waters. I think when I turned 18, I was like, right, I've got to jump in the deep end here. Let's just go full flow. Like, I always thought of it as, because I'm 18, I'm so young, I have nothing to lose. Like,
Love that.
I can go broke. Everything can tumble on me. I don't personally pay any bills when I was 18. Obviously now I do. I have my car, rent, for example, which I pay to my parents. And yeah, it comes back to sort of, I have nothing to lose. So jump straight in the deep end. You know, just go full flow with it. It doesn't work, you start again. And I think that's a mindset which a lot of people should adopt from a young age when they're starting in business, especially if they've not got any form of high expenses. You know, you've not got the rent, if you've not got any car payments, for example, or insurance. It's definitely a mindset to adopt young. I understand if people are starting their entrepreneurial and business journey later down the line, and they may have expenses and they may be on the edge of starting, you know, what if it goes wrong and I'll lose everything? It's a bit more understandable, but I think it's a mindset you sort of have to adopt one way or another. like I think every successful entrepreneur has that mindset of, well, I've got to jump in the deep end somewhere. You can't just go in the shallow end and hope it works out.
Mm-hmm. When did you start to really like kick on and you thought, oh, okay, this is starting to work now? What was the time frame between that kind of, let's say when you started, when you became 18 to when? What was that kind of time frame?
I think it sticks in my mind quite a lot, but it was September last year, and I sort of saw it as, I was like, surely not. Like, that was when I hit my first like sort of 5K month in revenue. So it's not a lot, but I was like, you know what, this could actually be scalable. Like between the February in 2023 where I started and that September, I was doing like 2.5, 3K a month in revenue. I was like earning a few £100 here and there, which is it's not too bad when you're 17, 18. But from that September, I jumped from like 5K to 10K within like a month and a half. I was like, wow, this is actually like, this could take off.
What changed?
I think it was my mentality of...
It wasn't a product or it wasn't a...
Yeah, the products do come alongside it. I think it was more my mentality. I was like, oh, is this going to work? Is this going to work? And I was like, you know what? Let's go. Let's go full flow. I'll product source. I don't care how many hours it's going to take per day. I will find them products and I will make a profit. And I think that's when it clicked. And when it clicked, the momentum just piles on. And then it's just a snowballing effect after that. Then just reinvesting back into your business and consistently having that belief of you will scale. And if you keep this momentum of what's going on and on and on, it will pay off.
How many items are you selling on like a monthly basis? So I know you've given us some numbers, but like...
Yeah, so on a monthly basis, I don't know from the top of my head, but it's thousands of products on a monthly basis. A daily basis, I'm probably looking at like 70 products per day. And obviously times that by 30, whatever that number is, it's quite a lot.
Let's say you do 70 orders a day. Are you dealing with like customer support? I know Amazon do a lot of the transit and getting it to them and all of that kind of stuff. But if there's someone with a complaint or they want to do a return, you have to deal with that, right?
No.
Nothing?
I deal with nothing. I deal with reviews. So some reviews which customers give to me. And with any sort of complaints or returns, they go direct to Amazon. So Amazon will deal with everything. They'll come and pick up the package. They'll deliver it back to their warehouse. And what they do is when they receive a return, they inspect the product. And if it's worthy of selling again, they'll refund the seller and put the item back on the shelf. And then I can then sell that product again. If it's damaged, they'll investigate who damaged the product. Was it me? Was it Amazon? Or was it the seller? Was it the customer, sorry? And then they'll determine whether to reimburse me or not. So if the customer damaged the product, then returned it, or has used the product and returned it, they'll say, well, this left our warehouse in this condition, and it's now been returned to us in this condition. So yes, we will refund the seller because they now have the product back, but then they'll also reimburse myself, and Amazon will take the hit for that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
Amazon are quite good with stuff like that, aren't they? Like, let's say, for instance, you shipped a pallet of, I don't know, glass bottles or something like that, then they all got damaged. They'd literally reimburse you for everything, but what it would have sold for, right?
Yeah, so I think I've never had any personal experience with sort of pallets or shipments damaging excessively, but I know like with like it may be like 10 products which have been damaged in a shipment, and I know they've reimbursed me like the full sale price for that product. And
but it costs them less to keep you happy.
Yeah, that's exactly. It comes to as well. It's the shipping rates which you get. Shipping rates are incredible. I could send off 100 kg worth of products, and it might cost me like £10 to ship. It's unbelievably cheap, and they use like a partner, UPS, and they will actually come to your door and collect it and send it to Amazon themselves.
You're not just ordering online straight to the fulfillment centres?
From my knowledge, I've not had any experience with sort of going to a wholesaler or a retailer and saying, can you ship this product directly to Amazon? Because when you ship a product, there's 2 different options you can take. So there's where you can use the manufacturer barcode. So when Amazon scan the product in, they can just scan the barcode which is on the product. Or you have your own barcode, which is stick over the manufacturer barcode, which shows that it's your products to your account. And we have what we call prep centers. And so you will order from the retailer or order from the wholesaler, and they'll ship it directly to the prep center, and they'll deal with all like the prepping, the packing, and the shipment. And they'll make sure they have good communication with Amazon, make sure nothing's damaged, and they will then get back to you and notify you consistently like on what's going on and keep you in the loop all the time.
Is that what you use, or do you do the packaging and all that kind of stuff yourself?
Yeah, so I do use a prep center near me. It's more of a local one. But on the side, I do also do my own packing as well. You know, if for me, I can't go into a normal shop and then not scan something if it makes profit. It's I might go and get a drink or something, but then I'll say a clearance section over there. I was like, well, we'll give this a scan and we'll see if it makes profit. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I'll just take that back home, and I'll build like over like a week or so. I'll build like a big shipment, whilst all my other shipments are going to this prep center. I'll build a shipment myself, and then sort of like do some packaging on the side, keep myself in the loop a little bit, and then ship that off myself. But like I said, I don't need to go to like the post office and give that to them and pay for it. When you pay for shipping from Amazon, it directly comes out of your seller account. So it just takes it off your current balance, which is sat in your account, which you can withdraw. And UPS will come to your house directly and pick up the parcels, scan it in, and take it to Amazon themselves. So there's no really manual labour of going out, dropping the parcel off anywhere.
What does a day in the life of a Amazon seller actually kind of look like? Be realistic.
A lot of looking at a screen, but I have like a schedule which I live by daily. So I'll wake up early in the morning. I'll have sort of like an hour to myself where I sort of come to terms with what I'm going to do for the day. And then I will make sure all the team's doing well, make sure the prep centre's running okay, and check in with other team members. And I will mainly spend my time doing the admin side of the business. So searching for them products and making sure all my accounts are done, making sure my accountant's fine with everything, and sort of getting up to speed where everyone is progressing at a great rate. And it's more of, for me at this stage, just checking in and making sure everything's running smoothly, and obviously keeping myself in the loop with, like I said, with the sourcing and stuff like that. But yeah, and then it's a lot of long hours and late nights, but I feel like that's you have to do that to scale with a business, no matter what business model it is. You have to put in them long hours, those early mornings, and it will 100% pay off in the future from them.
You mentioned check in with the team members. What kind of a team have you got?
So there's the prep center. Make sure everything's running smoothly with the prep center. They'll send me like notifications daily on like what's going out, what's being checked in. I have what's called a virtual assistant, which I outsource from a different country, and they will assist me with sourcing products and making sure all the admin side is running smoothly. And what I'm looking to do is sort of venture more into hiring, so I can sort of not take a step back from the business, but sort of get to a point where I'm not doing all the manual labour. I want to outsource most things. Like going back to this VA, which is one of the team members, we'll have like daily check-in calls, and we'll see how the sourcing's been going for the day. And she'll send me products. I'll then analyse the products, make sure they're all good. If they're good, I'll give her the approval of saying, yes, this is a great product. This is sort of like the market you should be looking around. This is the parameters which are best at the moment. And but yeah, I mean, what I'm looking to do in the near future is sort of get like an accounts manager, which I can outsource from a different country as well. So they'll be like, they'll handle with all like the purchasing. So the virtual assistant and the purchasing manager will communicate with each other. Mm-hmm. Like, we have found this product, I've checked in with myself, made sure that product's all good. Can you then purchase this product? So then I don't have to deal with all the sort of purchasing the product, make sure it gets there on time. That's the accounts manager's job.
I was just say, in terms of like scaling, so you're at 10K a month now, yeah? In terms of scaling the business, obviously you can keep doing what you're doing, but I mean, is there interest in white labeling product?
White labeling and private label, it's very costly to get into, just due to the fact that you have to have your own branding. It's finding that gap in the market for a specific product. It's a lot of ad campaigns. It's a lot of
On Amazon? Or
on Amazon. So you can run your own adverts. So if you see on Amazon, if you log on to Amazon and you type in a certain
Sponsored,
product,
right?
there's the first product that'll come up is sponsored. So they'll be paying like it may be £10 a day for that product to be right at the top.
That's not that bad though, really, is it?
Yeah, it's really good. The Amazon
£10 a day.
marketing campaign is really cheap.
Meta's absolutely ramming us.
Yeah, it's really cheap, the marketing campaigns. But I've gotten like hardly any experience with private label, but it's definitely a venture which I do want to go down in the future once the business has developed a little more, and when the cash flow is more developed, and so what I essentially want to do when I get to the private label part is I want to make sure all the wholesale and online arbitrage, etc., is not fully automated.
Seamless.
Yeah, seamless. So I want to make sure that's consistently making X amount per month. And then if the private label fails...
That's like your security, right?
Yeah, it's like sort of like a safety net.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of if the private label fails, I've got this to bounce back on. And I know this is going to be making me X amount per month. And I feel like it's like I said, it's very costly to get into. The ads, I've not got much experience with ads on products, so it's not really a venture which I would go down at my age, but it 100% is something I'm looking to do in the future. And as my business is going on, I'm learning about the ads every day. You know, I've started to do more research into them. I sort of sell my products off existing organic traffic. So, for example, you might be selling a big brand, so for example, Dove soap or Haribo's, you know, that already has that organic traffic coming towards that brand every day, every single minute of the day. And they can just search on Amazon. You know, it's a big brand, you know, they've already done all the marketing, you know. Mm-hmm. So you can sort of piggyback off that. And when you're coming into like the private label sector, you sort of have to start from scratch. It is your own brand.
Big brands.
Yeah, it is. It is your own brand.
Do you see yourself doing Amazon like for the rest of your life, or is there other things that you want to do?
There's a lot of things which I do want to do. I know my father, who I look up to quite a lot, he is in the property space. He renovates property and sort of flips it and then rents it out. So I eventually want to get into the property space with my father. I feel like that'll be very enjoyable and very profitable. I am launching my own business, which is teaching. So the business is teaching people to start their Amazon FBA journey, to start not necessarily making 10K a month, just getting that side income. They might have a 9-to-5 job, and just getting that sort of extra few pounds per month.
Is it possible to run it alongside a 9-to-5 job?
100%.
So to somebody that's stuck in a 9-to-5 now, that's looking for a way to transition into the online space or to start their own business, you would recommend to start with Amazon because it's something you could do hand in hand?
If you have a 9-to-5 job, you can 100% start Amazon FBA and you can make a good living off Amazon FBA. I know some people personally which have had a 9-to-5 job. They've started Amazon FBA and within 6 to 12 months, they've quit their 9-to-5 and full flow into Amazon FBA. It's a 100% scalable business. Like the data's there, it's proven. It's not as much as a risk as people thinks it is anymore.
You're 19 years old, bro. A lot of people at your age are going to uni, going to club, chasing girls, doing drugs. What do you do for fun?
I think my sort of fun is seeing the results of the work which I've put in. It sounds very sort of boring.
It doesn't.
But it's seeing the fruits of my own labour is what I deem as fun. It's refreshing my sales on my computer every night or every morning and seeing what I've done. That makes me happy. Like I don't see fun in going out to clubs every weekend and chasing girls, and I've never sort of deemed that to be my lifestyle. I've always wanted to go my own path, create my own reality, and develop myself as a person. I've never been interested in spending so much money to impress this girl or this girl, whatever. It's just not in my nature. I also feel like
I respect that.
I feel like that's come through my upbringing as well. Sort of, you work hard and you will see the results, and that's where your fun will come from.
You spoke about self-development. How do you feel that correlates with growing a business?
I feel like it's very, very important. For example, with your self-development, when you're journaling, you're going to the gym, it comes down to discipline. So going to the gym requires a certain amount of discipline. And without that discipline, I don't think it is much harder to scale within a business. I think when you go into the gym, when you're journaling every day, it sets the foundations of what you're expected to do for yourself. And that also lays the foundations in a business. You know, I mean, it sets the boundary. You know, you have to do this, and this is the only way which you're going to scale. Like, you're not going to scale realistically if you put in 50% of your effort into something. You have to go 100% or nothing.
Do you have many friends?
2, like really, really close friends.
And are they similar to you in the sense of they're going after and trying to achieve some amazing things?
Yeah.
What do they do? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, so one of my friends, Jamie, he's an aerospace engineer.
Okay.
And my friend Harvey, he's a professional footballer for Blackpool.
Oh.
So they're both doing extremely well in life. Mm-hmm. And I'm a big believer in surrounding yourself with people who have the same mentality and mindset as you of making money. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, you'll eventually just become a product of your environment.
The only reason I asked that, I don't want you to think I'm trying to be rude.
No,
and because you say, like, I don't have these interests, it's very hard at your age to find other people that are like you. Me and H have always been really lucky because we've always had each other, and we've kind of like put our energy and our kind of mindset into our group, and then that's kind of filtered out. But to be so fixated on a goal, on a business, on growing, on self-development at your age, it is also hard to like fit in and to have like a social life. That's the reason why I asked.
Yeah, no.
But it sounds like you've got a good...
I 100% agree. I mean, there's a lot of people my age which have gone to university, and I'm not going to name drop or anything, and like I'll have conversations with them, and they're doing a certain course at university. I was like, right, so let's talk about like futuristic terms. What do you want to do within that industry? And they say, I don't know. And I always think of it, I'm like, you're going to university, you've taken a course, and you don't know what you're going to do. Do you even want to do anything with that course? Are you there because maybe your family or your family have gone to university? Are you there because it's pressure? Are you there because it's a traditional way of, you know, you go to school, you go to college, you go to university, you get a job, you pay off your student loan? I've never wanted to go down that route. It may sound arrogant, but I've just never been like that.
I don't think it sounds arrogant. I just think it sounds like you know what you want and you're going and getting it.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like at a young age, if you know what you want, you can get a head start on a lot of people.
What do you want? What's the end goal? Where do you see yourself in 20 years?
I want my family to be taken care of. Everything to be fine. I don't want them to worry about anything. I don't want my friends to worry about anything. If any problems come around, then they'll be fixed. I think that's my main goal in life. It's not so much I want to be this billionaire or whatever. It's the freedom which comes with it. I want to be able to travel where I want, work from where I want, make sure my family can come with me, pay for. I've always wanted to take my family on holiday and they not have to worry about a single thing. I just wanted to just take care of it and let them enjoy it.
It's dope, bro. It's really nice and really refreshing to hear somebody at your age think and speak that way, because it's it's hard to come by.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that are friends of friends or siblings of friends that are kind of in your age bracket that just don't think the way that you think. And there's only so many times you can try and have a conversation with them and try and push them to try and do something and to start sooner. And they're just not having it. So it's massively refreshing to hear you speak the way that you speak. And I know that just from this short encounter that we've had today, that you're going to achieve those things, bro.
I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, and going back to what you just said about there's only so many times you can have a conversation about things with people, I don't think you can force someone to act a certain way or take a certain path. I feel like they have to find their own path.
You can take a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink.
Exactly.
One thing I wish that I did, I think we both wish that we did, was we start in earlier, and you've nailed that. And you've started correctly in a scalable model, and you seem to know what you're doing. So by the time you get to 25, bro, like a lot of the stuff that you dream about are going to come to you, and they're going to come to you really quickly.
I really hope so. I mean,
they will. Just don't get too caught up in it. Like stay true to you, bro.
Yeah, stay in my lane. And
not in your not stay in your lane, but just stay true to you. Because those things will come to you. The dreams that you said, what do you want? Where do you see yourself in 20 years? That's something that you could achieve if you do the right things in 3. Then what? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying stay focused, stay yourself, and don't let that stuff change you, and change what you want to be and who you want to be. And you'll smash it, bro.
I appreciate the advice. You'll
smash it.
I'll definitely take that into account. I love hearing advice from people older than me and who can.
I feel a bit old, actually. We're normally younger than the guys that we sit down and speak with. So this is really kind of like it's really refreshing.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys, telling me that, because I value advice from people who may have experienced what I hope to go through. And you know what I mean? And yeah, I just really appreciate it. Thank you.
So,
how plausible is it then for someone to scale an Amazon FBA business from 0 to maybe like a K or 2 per month?
It is very easily to scale to £1,000 profit per month, especially alongside a 9-to-5 job. If the correct information is in front of you and you're not starting from scratch and completely blind, you can scale extremely quickly. So
is it a course or a community that you're going to be beginning?
It's a mixture of both. So what the business is the FBA space, and it's a community of like-minded Amazon sellers and beginners which can start the FBA journey and scale to that £1,000 profit per month, £2,000, £3,000 profit a month, and not necessarily leave their job. It's having that side income so they don't have to worry about the specific bills. They don't have to worry about, can they afford this, can they afford that? They can go on holiday, want like an extra holiday a year. And it's just building the foundations for business. And some people may take it to another level with our community and sort of scale their business, leave their 9-to-5, because I know people which have literally left their 9-to-5 and are now making more on Amazon. And granted, yes, it's a lot of effort, but I feel like once them starting blocks are out the way and you take that leap of having the information in front of you and not starting blind, you'll 100% reap the rewards.
What's your goal with that business? Like, is the reason financial for you? Obviously, because there's going to be some kind of financial gain, but is there a deeper reason of like trying to help other people that are maybe in your position, or where did the kind of idea come from?
I'm a big believer in like helping people around you and helping people achieve what you've achieved. And I feel like if I can provide that service to other people, I'll be satisfied with myself. I get satisfaction from helping people and helping them generate, not necessarily a side income, it could be anything. I get satisfaction from helping other people achieve their goals. Like, I don't know what it is, it's just something about it which just really spurs me on to sort of help these people and, you know, start that Amazon FBA journey, make that extra £1,000 a month. It's satisfying to watch.
When you first started doing Amazon FBA, yeah, going back to the start, do you wish that you had someone or a course or a community that you could go to, or do you enjoy the fact that you had to do the research manually yourself, like, and really endure that hard labor?
I think it was a bit of both. There was a group I was involved in, which sort of gave me the basics, and it really did help me. And but in terms of like the sourcing and finding the products and then scaling the business, I had to find that out the hard way. So the basics were there in front of me on how to set up the business, you know, what everything means, what the terms mean, etc. But in terms of genuinely scaling the business, I found that the hard way. And I feel like if I can provide that value to other people, then they will not be stuck in the blind zone and sort of not knowing what's going to happen. You know, you don't know whether they're actually going to make profit from it or not, you know. So I feel like if I provide the value to them, it will be less complicated for them, and I will also gain some form of satisfaction out of it because I love helping people.
You said that you had a kind of course / community that you were involved with, a group that helped you a lot, but you learned a lot of the stuff the hard way. I think a lot of people, when they kind of purchase these kind of courses or buy into somebody that has something that they want, they think, okay, I'm gonna go, and then when I go, like, everything's just gonna work out, and like, because I paid for the course, like, I'm gonna start doing 10K or 20K in 6 months' time. But unless you put in the work outside, you can go and you can digest all the information, but unless you action on any of it, you won't actually achieve anything. So you finding out the hard way, I think there's no real scenario where you don't do that anyway, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think action is the core of everything. Yes, you can digest as much information as you like. You can read, you can listen. But if you don't take action on that, you're not going to reap the rewards. You'll gain the knowledge, but you won't reap the rewards at all.
I think Hormozy said it is like, if you like listening to a podcast, let's say a podcast like this, yeah, about Amazon FBA, listening to it and then not taking any action is literally just a waste of your time.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
That's what I was like when I listened to it. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, if you can listen to as much as you like, you can read as much as you like, but if you don't not going to take that action, it's why listen to that podcast, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like you said, it's a waste of time. You know, like, action is the core of everything. No matter what in life, it is the center of everything.
Mm-hmm. Where do you learn? Where do you take your knowledge from? Is there somebody that you look up to? Are there multiple people? Are you a bit of a research freak where you just you're always there? Where do you get your knowledge? Where do you accumulate it?
When I initially started and I was a part of the information group, I think that was the best thing that could have happened to me. While starting Amazon FBA, the group provided me a lot of value, immense value. So I think that's where it initially started, but as I've gone along my journey, I've become more of a trial and error type of person. An example is a product. If I send in a product, it doesn't sell, I've then lost money. I then know that product and its parameters are no good. So that's out the window. And I move on to something else. If that doesn't work, we go again, again and again. And like we said at the start, it comes back to, what do I have to lose?
What is your biggest hit, and how did you deal with it?
I think my biggest hit was when I put in a 2.5, $3,000 order, and they all sold for more or less break even, which isn't as bad as it sounds. Mm-hmm. And I have made certain losses, but I feel like this was my biggest hit because I had so much faith in it.
Yeah.
And I've done the research. I was like, this product is going to do numbers.
Quickly, I don't want to interrupt you, but you said that everything before is driven by data. If I buy it at X, it's already selling at X. How do you have a product that breaks even? How do you have a product that makes a loss when you're only taking action off of the data? How does that happen?
So it comes down to the availability of the product. So for example, everyone can use the data. And for example, a product may sell 100 times a month. But if this product is available at all Tesco's, for example, anyone can get that product and start selling. And with Amazon, they have what's called a buy box. So when you load up Amazon, you click buy now, that buy box is associated to a seller, which is either offering the cheapest price or offering the quickest delivery service. And I think some people become too impatient with the rotation of the buy box and getting their turn to sell products. So that's where what we call undercutting.
Wait, what determines who has the buy box?
I need to open Amazon. I want to see this. You keep talking. I'm just curious what you mean. Like, I want to see it.
You know, earlier when he said he's an Amazon fiend, you know, when you swipe down on your phone and you've got the apps that you most frequently use. It was the third one there.
Oh,
I think, what did I think I did order something from Amazon recently.
If you open up Amazon and type in a random product.
Right, I was looking at Beats headphones.
Add to basket.
It's just add to basket.
So if you click, does it say buy now?
No, but maybe
It just says add to basket.
no. They all do just say add to basket. Give me a random product because I don't think that's random enough. That's quite like.
Let's go with.
Put like soap. You mentioned soap earlier.
Let's go Dove soap.
No, they will just say add to basket.
Dove, bro.
If it just says add to basket, if you scroll down a little bit, does it say sold by, and then a name?
No. Do you mean when you click on the product? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Are you just looking at all the products?
Oh yeah, we were just. I thought that's what you meant. Because I was like, I don't remember ever seeing that. Yeah, isn't that just on every product the buy now button?
Yeah, but it rotates.
What do you mean?
So for example, let's say all three of us did Amazon, and you're selling Dove soap. You might be offering the quickest delivery time in Amazon. So your product might already be in Amazon. So you can get to the customer quicker. But my product is on the way into Amazon. So you're then offering the quickest delivery time, which is what Amazon prioritize, which means when the customer clicks buy now, you're the one who's getting the sale. I'm not. But then it also factors on cheapest price. So let's say we're selling this product for £40, for example. I'm offering £40, and you're both offering £40.
No, I'm doing 38.95.
There you go. So if you're doing 38 or 90 or 39, you're going to get the buy box because you're offering the cheapest price.
Right. So you have control of that, though, right?
Yeah, you have control of your own price. Yes. But you do not have control of when you get the buy box.
Because someone else can just go and undercut you.
Correct.
Well, I'm confused because I feel like every time I press on a product, they've always got the buy box, like the buy now button.
Yeah, it does. And the buy now button's always there. But if you look just below the buy now button, it will say sold by, and then it might say Joshua Halliwell. And then within an hour's time, if you look again, it might say sold by.
But it's the same picture. It looks the same.
Exact same picture, same everything.
Wait, so there's one listing for Dove, but then there might be 5 different people selling on that same listing.
Correct.
How does that work?
So it's what we
It's
call,
probably a stupid question for people that are in Amazon.
No, it's definitely not a stupid question. It's a question which everyone thinks is like very confusing, but we can both have a product and sell that product. It's not exclusive to one. There's specific. So when you was on about private label earlier on, that's specific to you. Like you trademark that. Anyone sells it, you can enforce what we call an IP claim, and then you can kick them off a listing. But with products like Dove soap, numerous sellers can sell on that listing.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, man.
Damn.
What's one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's listening to the pod and wants to start their Amazon FBA journey?
Jump straight in the deep end.
or just order some products and just see what happens?
In terms of venture for that knowledge, venture for the information, a lot of people are scared to start a side hustle in case what goes wrong. I think too many people focus on what can go wrong. Flip your mentality and think what can go right. What can I do if I start earning money online? You know, you can, the scalability of online business is impeccable. You know, I think a lot of people are on the edge. And if you are thinking about doing Amazon FBA, just jump straight in. And that doesn't mean, like you said, just order a random product and hope it works. It's do your due diligence first. Maybe jump into a community, for example, the community which I'm setting up, and surround yourself with like-minded people who may already have started Amazon, or they may be in the same basket as you. You know, they're on the edge, and you know, you can sort of jump in together and sort of reap off each other's failures or lessons learned. So you can. What I found was when I first started, when I made errors, I jumped in with a few people who were beginners, and I was telling them my failures. They were telling me their failures and how they got around it. I feel like that's the best way to start, 100%. So my overall advice is jump straight in. Just do it. Like, you just got to jump straight in.
To the guy listening that's in his 9 to 5, stacking shelves at Tesco or working in an office job, can he do it? Can she do it?
100%. 100%. You could do it if you were 9 to 5. You could work. With Amazon, you can work any time of the day. And I feel like everyone has to start somewhere. You may have a 9 to 5, and it might start out as a side hustle, and it may venture into a big business overall. But like I said, anyone can do Amazon FBA.
Well, thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you inviting me down.
It's been massively. I've said it multiple times, but it's been really, really refreshing to speak with someone at your age that's doing what you're doing, has the mindset that you have. And yeah, you're going to achieve great things, bro. So just keep going.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to speak to you both.
Maybe we can touch base again and we can do number 2 soon, yeah? When 100%. You hit the 100K a month.
I'd 100% be down for that.
Come on. To all of you guys at home, thank you so much for clicking on this video, watching this podcast, listening to this podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Turn that bell notification on if you haven't already. And we'll see you all next week.
Love, guys. Thanks for listening. Catch us later.
Peace!
Dope. What'd you make of that, brother?
Loved it. Yeah, loved it.
Good.